I have to say, earlier today, I think you might have missed this, Dave. And this happens to me, and it turns out it happens to my wife sometimes, too. We miss a little something. Like today, and I mentioned this earlier, there was a protest going on. Chris, Demm, and I saw it on television. People were shouting, "Shame on you," to lawmakers. "Shame on you."
Yeah.
And I thought they were saying, "Save our Jews." Oh. Save our Jews. And I said, "What's going on with the Jews?" And Chris Demm said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "What's going on with the Jews?" He's like, no. They have to tell me.
Well, how much time have you got? I'll tell you.
He has to tell me. He has to tell me what's going on, in those situations. Now, yesterday, my daughter had her first track meet of the season. I was very proud of her because she has, worked hard, and she says when she comes home every day, she's like, "I just cannot do this."
Yeah,
can't do it.
Yeah, she's like, they
rough practice.
They run her
Long
hard,
practice?
and she'll tell the coach, "Look, my legs are just killing me."
Yeah, that's the dirty little secret of track is there's
that they run.
They run. That is
she knew that going in.
Well, I don't know that she thought there was that much
but
running.
you just run and run and
You
run
run
so
a
that you
lot.
can run.
What else are we going to do?
Correct.
This is it.
Correct. So
And do they throw weight training in at the high school level?
I don't think so. She's a freshman. I don't believe she's done any weight training. And by the way, we went to see the track meet yesterday.
That's nice of you.
And there were some. Now, she's pretty young to be on the varsity track team. She's a freshman. And there were some, though, that when those guys and women ran by, I thought, my God, they are just unbelievable. They were lapping the field. The guy who ran the 2 mile just almost lapped the field. He was that great a runner.
Yeah, I mean, some of those kids are looking for scholarships.
Well, yeah, exactly. So my daughter, I thought she did well. She went out and she ran the 400, which is one lap around.
It's considered a sprint, right, in the track world?
Yes, it's one lap around the track. And now, so for the 3 hours that I was there, I saw her run for 1 minute and 23 seconds, which is what it took her to go around the track once.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Which was, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I was like, that's great.
What's the optimal time for a run like that?
Well, she finished back in the pack, and she was new to. I'd say the optimal time for that for a girl in high school is probably 1:10, something like that.
Okay.
So she started out in the lead. We were at the finish line, and I saw her out in the lead. I said, she's in the lead. And I said she may have started too fast, and then they passed her right at the end.
I was going to say but she'll learn that. She'll learn. I started too strong.
I told her, and as she ran by me, I said, dig, 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 go.
No, you did not. Out loud?
I said, yeah, I was screaming. I was like, get that finishing kick. And then later she told me, my legs, I didn't have any kick left. I said, you went out too soon. You went out too early, too fast. And we talk about it in the car.
You going to get her out in the neighborhood now? Get her doing your own, starts and finishes.
Get a stopwatch.
In the
Coach is
cul-de-sac.
going to send you an email. Stop whatever it is you're doing.
Absolutely. I'm telling her every move to make. I'm not.
Please don't tell her to dig.
I'm not I said, go, dig, dig, dig.
I don't know who you're
dig.
talking to at home.
I said, get that.
We can't say that to the kids anymore.
I said,
Does she wear track spikes?
no. And a lot of those kids were wearing the track spike. I think the ones that are real serious about it, about half of them had them on. And it's funny. I have to demonstrate.
Is it one of those really cool spongy tracks?
It
or
is.
is it just kind of a standard high school track?
It was a standard high school track, but on the track, you could tell it's a softer, cement, whatever it is.
That's cool.
And, but off the track, outside the track, there was just regular cement. And these kids walked around like ducks. They were like, because they couldn't.
Yeah, you clip and clop.
They don't want to dull the spikes.
Exactly. So they walked on their heels the entire time.
I thought they would wear slides out there and then
They didn't.
Change them.
They walked around on there because it was just like 20 feet to get to the grass, and so they would walk on that.
How's that 400 start? Is it stand up or are they in blocks?
I couldn't see.
Huh?
I couldn't see. I was over at the. I was over near the finish line, and there was a tent between me and her. Oh. And so when they when they shot the gun, I just saw them start.
I think at the Olympic level, it's in the blocks.
Yeah, I think
it
so
could
too.
be. It could be. Some were in the blocks. I mean, the sprinters were in the blocks
I
yesterday.
don't know if high schools had that or not.
So anyhow, when we got there, this is the whole point about, messing up things. My wife, she was driving, and I was in the passenger seat. She told me recently she thinks I'm an unsafe driver, so she's driving now. And she's in.
So now she won't ride with you or either of her children.
Child. And I said to her recently, why are you driving all over the place now? She goes, because I think I'm a better driver than you. But she just laid it out there. I said, okay. All right. That's
honest.
So we go in, and she goes, now you all have told me this, but I don't know these things. There are certain things called furries, right? Now, what are these? What are furries?
Furries?
Furries, the sexual.
Well, I think those are people who dress up like animals for sexual purposes.
Sexual gratification.
Yes. Well, yeah, but now there's like a. It's kind of taken on a different life too.
Okay.
Like a non-sexual version?
Yeah. Now it's just people just wear tails around. And,
Okay,
Yeah,
right.
they look like
hidden
animals.
ears.
They're furries.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's not necessarily. But younger people are doing this.
Okay. So, right, younger people are doing where they wear.
no.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Jesus.
So we pull into the parking lot, and I am down on looking at my phone. Okay, I'm not even paying attention. And my wife goes, "Oh my God, look at this! There's a sign that says "Welcome all furries." But I missed it. We were past it, but I said,
children here.
What are you talking? I said, "There are kids here." She goes, "That's right." She goes, "I'm gonna mount a complaint." The sign says, "Welcome all furries."
Did she pull her hair back into that Karen bun?
Yeah, well, she's ready.
Yeah.
She was ready. She's going to the administration.
Shove that rod in it.
I have some thoughts.
Excuse me.
I would like to speak to the manager.
We get up to the track, and she goes, "Look, there it is again." And it was like all over the place. It's like,
Furries, furries.
we support furries. We support. And I said, "Sweet, I think you're misreading. It's the home team is the Furies." Over for Forsyth Country Day.
Yes.
The Forsyth Furies.
That makes sense.
She's ready.
Oh.
The Fury.
Yeah.
She was up in our. I said,
She's ready to rip a tail off some poor 16-year-old.
Grow up. Little wolf ears.
So like we love the Furies, and it had a horse head. Apparently, the horse head is their mascot. She goes, "Look at that! It's about animals. It's about furries." And I said, "No. I think read it again.
Only one R.
Only one R."
Oh.
She missed it.
Yeah.
She
I
missed
think
it.
she needs the eye doctor.
I said, you know.
Did you drive home?
Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, I drove home.
I'll drive. You calm down.
And well, she was fit to be tied to that. She's like, "How can the school administration support a bunch of furries in here?" Apparently, she had heard exactly what you heard.
Yeah.
That now kids wear tails.
Teenagers are coming to school in tails and
call themselves
cat
furries.
ears.
Cat ears and
yeah.
such.
Didn't want. I don't even know if this is true. Didn't we read there was like a litter box out for some of these furries in the bathroom at one point a couple of years ago?
Never happened, but yeah.
Didn't really happen, but
But there are furry conventions.
yeah, and
For the adults.
Well, I just want to report the good folks at Forsyth Country Day have not.
Great hosts.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
Wonderful hosts.
They did a nice
Clean
job.
event.
Clean event. Great event.
The Fury.
Well run event.
A lot of times track meets, they have multiple schools.
Oh, my
Is
God.
it just two?
Oh no. They're probably 7 or 8, and it took forever.
It's like swim meets.
It was like swim meet, and one of them, the kids were they're from the Raleigh area, and so it was
Wow.
like it was an hour and 15-minute drive at least, probably 2-hour drive for them. And I was sitting there next to some of their runners at one point, and they were saying, "Man, we're not going to get home till 11 o'clock," which is really true. They went forever, but it was fun. I enjoyed watching it. You know?
Hey man, your wife's over there fighting a fox. What? Isn't that your wife?
Yeah.
Snatch that kid's foxtail and she's yelling at him.
Probably the mascot for one of the schools. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Boy, she didn't appreciate
There's
that.
one right there.
Tell you what, she said, "Oh my God, what has it come to? The furries."
The furries.
And she was very, very angry
It's the
about
team
it.
from Apex.
So how many track meets are there in a track season?
Well, I'm not sure. I know yesterday was the first. It was supposed to be today, but we're expecting terrible weather, so they moved it to
Okay.
yesterday.
It almost sounds like a regional.
It was
People from
it was
the
all over,
state.
and it was middle school and high school. I mean, they had a
Oh.
ton of runners there. I mean, there was so, and it was like one thing after another.
Do they do all of the events? I mean, do they do pole vault and shot put?
Yes, and they had shot put, and they had hurdles, they had discus, they had everything going on all around. A huge complex out there.
It's hard to watch a track meet.
Yes, you just
know.
watch for your one event. That's what I
Yeah.
did, you know. And wait, I mean,
'Cause
I
it's
saw
almost always something going on.
yes, a ton. I saw all the track stuff leading up to my daughters. Then she did, and for her, she was event like 25 out of 60, and it was 2 hours in before we got to her event. And for her, it was like 3 different heats too. It was,
Oh, yeah.
you know, you had several going.
Yeah, the thing is, you don't know when they run until you get there.
Exactly.
The swimming was the same way with my kid. I'd go there, and you'd get there, and she doesn't swim for 2 hours.
Exactly.
And these things start at 4 in the afternoon and go to like 8 or 9 at
That's
night.
exactly
Oh,
what it was.
easy.
That's exactly what it was.
And then they ask you to volunteer as a parent. They like I used to have to put the flip the number and put it down under the water, the lane. So you know how many laps to do, then you got to flip it again and put your hand down there.
Well, it was an incredibly well-run event, but you're right. We didn't know. I mean, it's 2.5 hours before she even ran, and then she ran for 1 minute.
Does she have a cool uniform?
Yeah, I liked her uniform, and I thought she did. I told her on the way home, I thought she did really, really well, and that I would work with her to get faster and to get better. Now, you know the event where my wife mistook the furry
pride.
I think that's the name of one of the conventions.
It reminded me. It really reminded me of the time that we saw. You'll remember this. The license plate that said TCHNKIDS, which was for teaching kids. But my wife, we were on the way into the burrito place, and she goes, "By God, I'm calling the police." I said, "Why?" She says, "Look at that license, touching kids."
Just putting it out there.
I said, I think that's probably a teacher.
Yeah. Much like yourself.
Yeah, like herself. And I said, what did Chris Dibb say? It was like, what is it? The Rorschach.
The Rorschach test.
Yes, she failed it.
You see what you see.
She failed that one. Got it. Yeah, she failed it.
Maybe that was his punishment, though.
Yeah.
I know they have to warn their neighbors.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, you're real dangerous. We're going to label your car, too.
What? Touching kids.
She's quick to...
She's to the worst thing. She's always to the worst thing.
She's always to the worst.
Yeah, that's how she is. That's exactly right.
Does she have the contact lenses?
She does. She just got new, as a matter of fact. So, I mean, we're concerned about, a little concerned about that.
You should set her up for a prank and tell her, get somebody dressed as a furry and send them into your yard.
Yeah, just pounce across the front yard.
Yeah, there's a fox in the yard. Just some dude with a tail.
And painted on whiskers.
Yeah.